Hi everyone, my name is Kieran. I'm one of the training officers for Stream Marine Careers. Thank you for joining our webinar today to learn a bit more about the Merchant Navy, who Stream Marine Careers are and what we do and the opportunities that we can offer you guys. So I'm just going to share my screen. I'll deliver a quick presentation and then my colleague Emma will give you some more information afterwards. So, careers in the Merchant Navy. What is a cadetship? So Stream Marine Careers are part of the Stream Marine Group. We are based in Glasgow, just at Glasgow Airport. Our sister company, Stream Marine Training, are a world-class provider of maritime training, including survival training and firefighting. Across the group, we have many industry experts, as well as many seafarers with a variety of experience, both onshore and offshore. Stream Marine Careers aim to provide the shipping companies with the best officers who are ready to man the ships of tomorrow. So what is the Merchant Navy? The Merchant Navy is the collective term for the UK's commercial shipping industry, which is made up of individual companies who are responsible for their own recruitment and training. The Merchant Navy is a term which can also be used to describe commercial shipping vessels such as tankers, bulk carriers, ferries and cruise ships. The longest container ship in the world is now around 400 metres long, which is the equivalent to the length of 4 football pitches, whilst the largest has a cargo capacity of over 20,000 cargo containers. The world's largest cruise ship is now over 360 metres long, and it can carry over 6,500 passengers. Trade routes can vary, and it can take the vessels to every continent and every ocean across the globe. Over 90% of goods are transported into the UK by sea, so that makes shipping and the Merchant Navy a vital part of our economy. The Port of Southampton alone handles around 900,000 vehicles and about 1.9 million cargo containers annually, with about 2 million cruise ship passengers sailing each year from the port on their holidays. So, working in the Merchant Navy. If you want to work in the Merchant Navy, you must train at college and at sea through a cadetship to get the qualifications required. Throughout a cadetship, you'll work towards a relevant nautical studies foundation degree, which is known as a professional diploma in Scotland, or an HNC or an HND from a maritime college or university. Upon completion of a cadetship, you'll receive an Officer of the Watch Certificate of Competency, and that's from the Maritime Coast Guard Agency, the MCA. Once you have this, this will allow you to work on board any merchant ship anywhere around the world. So what is a cadetship? A cadetship is a form of training program that combines practical on-the-job experience and formal facilitated training. There are 5 phases to a cadetship, and these involve learning at a UK college and working at sea on the vessel of the company who sponsors you. The company who sponsors you throughout your cadetship will depend on your favourite industry within shipping. So here at Stream Marine Careers, our sponsor options are ferries, refrigeration container ships, different types of offshore vessels, and a wide variety of cargo vessels. At the end of your 3-year cadetship, you'll be fully qualified as either a deck, engineering or electro-technical officer. And again, this allows you to work on board any merchant ship. Cadetships are open to anyone over the age of 16, and at Stream Marine Careers, we pride ourselves on supporting cadets throughout the 3-year fully funded training programme and assisting the cadets in gaining employment as a junior officer once qualified. At the end of your cadetship, Stream Marine Careers will also offer advice with CVs, any of your applications and interviews when taking your first career steps as a junior officer. So your college and sea phases, this is how the cadetship is structured. So it's over 5 phases. 3 years, and these phases are phase 1 at college. This is when you do your academics, start your academic qualifications, complete any short courses that you're required to do. So you'll do personal survival, personal safety and social responsibility, first aid, fire prevention and firefighting. You'll also do some enclosed space and security duties. Engineers will do workshop, deck officers will do bridge simulator training. Phase 2 is when you go to sea. So you'll gain sea time on board one of the vessels of your company who sponsor you. You'll have a training record book that you'll need to complete. So the training record book is like tasks that you have to complete when you're at sea. Different training tasks that the officers will sign off to ensure that you're competent in completing those tasks. Once you finish phase 2, you then return to college for phase 3. This is when you complete your academics, either HNC, HND, your SPD or your foundation degree. Put everything into practice that you've learned at sea into college, and you'll also gain further workshop courses or bridge simulator training. You'll then go to sea again for phase 4. This is when you complete your remaining sea time. So deck officers need to do 12 months of sea time, engineers need to do 8 months. So you'll complete those months on board your vessels, and you'll also complete your training record book. After you've finished your sea time in phase 4, you then return to college again for phase 5. Phase 5 is when you prepare for your officer of the watch oral and written exams, and you'll also gain some advanced short courses. So you'll get advanced firefighting, proficiency in medical first aid, and you'll also complete some further bridge simulator and an engine room ready experience. So why choose a Stream Marine cadetship? So Stream Marine are a cadet management company, and this allows us to have a supportive personal experience with our cadets. As an SMC cadet, you'll benefit from the following. You'll have your own allocated cadet training officer. That will either be myself or Emma. We'll also offer assistance and support with written and oral exam prep. We'll also offer help with any CV writing and job searching once you qualify. Our aim is to use our vast network of contacts to ensure that every cadet who completes the programme will successfully gain employment as a junior officer. So at the moment, we currently offer cadetships for the following disciplines. So if you want to become a deck officer, the minimum requirements you need are National 5s or GCSEs in English, Maths and Science at grade C or grade 4 and above. And that's to go on to the HND level. Similar for the HND, so National 5s, GCSEs, Maths, English and Science for SPD and foundation degree also, if you've got your higher in A levels. Similar for engine and ETO, to go on to the HNC route, National 5s at GCSEs, Maths, English and Science, grade C, grade 4 and above. To go on to the HND or SPD foundation degree, have your National 5s, grade B and above, or your higher in A levels. So what is the role of a deck officer? A deck officer has the responsibility on board ship for the safe navigation and operation of the vessel. As a deck officer, you'll be in charge of valuable cargo and or the passengers on board, so it is a pretty big responsibility. Whilst you're on duty at sea, you'll be responsible for making decisions on steering and manoeuvring the ship, controlling navigation and all communications. When you're in port, you'll be responsible for the cargo handling and the ship's stability. So this is our training manager, Kelly. Kelly was a deck officer, and this is just some of Kelly's experiences when she worked at sea. And this is our training officer, Emma. Emma was also a deck officer, and Emma has worked at sea on various research vessels. So what is the role of an engineering officer? As an engineer, you'll be responsible for the operation and maintenance of all the mechanical and associated control systems on board the vessel. So that includes your main engine, boiler systems, fuel oil and cooling systems. When you're at sea, you'll work within the engine room, undertaking routine watchkeeping duties such as overhauling machinery, monitoring control systems, and fault finding. So these are some of my experiences when I worked at sea as an engineer. I've worked on container ships. I've most recently worked on the River Clyde, various pilot boats, small tugboats, different workboats. So an Electro-Technical Officer, an ETO. So as an ETO, you'll be responsible at sea for anything related to the ship's electrical systems. This can range from complex engine control systems to radars and electronic chart systems on the bridge. With the size of vessels ever increasing and the never-ending advances in technology, there is fast becoming a greater requirement on board for merchant navy ships for ETOs. So your training allowance, you will receive a training allowance throughout your full 3-year cadetship. This will be paid on the last working day of each month. So you'll get £800 per month. That's throughout your full 3-year cadetship, both when you're at college and whilst you're at sea. The training allowance should be used to help towards your cost of being at college, so you must budget accordingly. Some of the costs you must think of, that can include if you're living local, transport to and from the college. If you don't live local and you're staying in accommodation, help cover the cost of that, your food every month, general cost of living. So who do we work with at Stream Marine Careers? So ZODIAC Maritime, they are an international ship management company. They have their head offices in London with some smaller offices in Shanghai, Tokyo and Mumbai. ZODIAC have around 180 vessels under their management, which are mainly UK and Liberian flagged vessels. They hire multinational crew on board their vessels, and ZODIAC also recruit the best performing cadets at the end of the cadetship. SOLSTAD Offshore. So SOLSTAD are one of the largest, greenest and most capable offshore shipping companies in the world. They are based in Norway and they have 10 other offices across the world, including Aberdeen, Australia, Cyprus, Brazil, Manila, Singapore and Ukraine. SOLSTAD currently operate 125 vessels and they employ over 3,500 offshore seafarers with over 50 different nationalities. So as a company, SOLSTAD have 4 main core values. That's to be safe, reliable, competent and responsible. We also work with Africa Express Line, who are a British shipping company. They were created in January 2002 and they have their main office in Kent. Africa Express Line operate a fleet of 9 modern specialist reefer vessels on 2 dedicated liner services to and from Europe throughout the Mediterranean Sea from West Africa. They have a professional team who specialise in the handling and transport of perishable fresh fruit cargoes, and they're also able to cater for time-sensitive cargoes, whether that be on deck, under deck, or containerised. We also work with NORTHLINK ferries, who operate the passenger ferries on the Orkney and Shetland routes out of Aberdeen. The company have their offices in Stromness, Kirkwall, Lerwick and Aberdeen. So NORTHLINK ferries sail daily from Aberdeen to Lerwick with frequent calls at Kirkwall, from Scrabster on the north coast of Scotland to Stromness in Orkney. So NORTHLINK also hire a mixture of British and multinational crew on board their vessels. So you have different college options when you study. So we work with all the major maritime colleges up and down the UK. So we work with the City of Glasgow College, Southampton Solent University, Warsash Maritime Academy, Fleetwood Nautical Campus, South Shields Marine School, Humber Maritime College, the University of the Highlands and Islands, and the Scottish Maritime Academy in Peterhead. So throughout your cadetship, one of the sponsoring companies that I just spoke about will pick up the bill for the following items: all of your college tuition fees, All of your short course fees will be covered, so that's your firefighting, all your courses, medical first aid, survival at sea, those kind of courses. The company will also cover any medical exams that you're required to do, also cover any vaccinations you might need for going to sea. If you require any American or Australian visas, any other visas to travel and work at sea, they'll cover the cost of that. Your travel expenses to and from college at the start and end of each phase, and your travel and accommodation when joining or signing off of a ship. So the entry requirements for a cadetship: in order to be eligible, all of our candidates must meet the minimum entry requirements. Like I says, minimum of 4 National 5s or GCSEs, including maths, English and a science. That's at grade C or grade 4, 5 and above. You must hold a valid UK or EEA passport. You must have been a permanent resident within the UK for the past 36 months. And you must also be able to pass an ENG1 medical exam. So we are accepting applications at the moment for our January, February and August, September intakes. If you'd like to scan that barcode on the screen, it will take you to our application form. So we are on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. If you'd like to follow this flow code, give us a follow on all our social media platforms, see what updates come from us within the business, and we also post some photos from our current cadets who are either at college or at sea. So, yep, thanks guys for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, unmute yourself, and we'll be happy to help.
So there's just a wee question in the chat saying, if anyone's interested in the August intake, how soon should they apply? Our applications for August, September are open now. So you can basically apply now for the August intake. That means that you can get, if you do have predicted grades, you can put them into the application form. We can have a wee discussion about it at interview. And that just means if you're accepted, you're good to go. We've got plenty of time to get your paperwork done. But yeah, you can apply for August now. So Helen's just asking, what age do we take cadets from? So we have client companies that will accept cadets from 16, and we are recruiting for that client for this February intake and also for August and September. So if anyone's interested, we recruit cadets from 16.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Scott.
I was just wondering, how long before you go away to college does your ENG1 need to be done?
So preferably we'd like you to have it before starting the cadetship. That just means that you know that you are able to pass an ENG1 before starting your cadetship. It means that if you have any restrictions or for whatever reason you can't get a medical, at least you know before you start.
Yeah, okay, thank you, that's fine.
It is a requirement for you to go to sea. You do require a medical. So we do prefer you to have that in place before beginning your cadetship.
Do you have to have any of the courses? Do you know, like your basic sea survival and that?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that before you go away as well, yeah?
Yes, so you get a basic safety week before you go to sea. That's all your SDCW courses. So you get your firefighting, first aid, survival at sea, personal safety, social responsibility, and your personal survival techniques as well.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
With those courses as well, like I says, in phase 5, you'll get advanced courses for those. So you'll get your advanced firefighting, your proficiency in medical first aid, any other advanced courses that the college do as well. So like bridge simulator, engine room simulator, that type of thing. Does anyone have any more questions? No. So yeah, like I say, guys, this has been recorded. It will be put on YouTube on the stream page afterwards. If any of you have any questions after we finish the webinar, just drop us an email, give us a phone call, and we'll be happy to help as much as we can. Thanks a lot for coming. If no one has any more questions, I will end the webinar just there. Like I say, it has been recorded, so it will go onto our YouTube page shortly.